CEO of the project Alexey Ognev, our strategic development director Alexander E, and our translator Yelena. Hey guys. And let's check if you can hear and see us well. Please send your messages to the chat, send a plus or a smiley face if you can see and hear us well. Let us know how many times you've attended our webinars. Let us know where you come from. And please write something that worries you or something that you want to know about IT and AI industry. Today there will be a lot of important, I'd say even strategically important information at the webinar, and it would be great if you could really concentrate on what you hear and maybe you can even make a few notes. In the last webinar we spoke about technical side of our project. Today we will talk about two important blocks, strategically important blocks, about DigiU education and development strategy as a whole and commercial use of projects. And we're giving the floor to Alexander, so hello everyone. That was quite a long speech. Well, basically today Alexander is going to tell us about DigiU education project and also about what's going on with technological development. What stage are we at with products and our text-to-speech technology, and also about the development of the project. And we are basically acting as a classical venture fund, and I'm going to tell you about different points that we will go through as a classical venture fund. Let's start with DigiU education project. We recently announced that we are starting work on this project. So basically this is an educational project and we plan to basically monetize this project, and this project will consist of two parts. So first part of the project are a series of short videos that will allow people to learn and start earning with the use of internet straight away. They would be able to implement the skills straight away after completing the course. And the second part of the project is a series of practical courses for partners. There will be parts on how to promote the project, how to build your personal brand, how to work with your social networks like Facebook, how to conduct and hold webinars, and so on. Why do we believe that it's a strategically important project for us? First of all, tech segment grows by 35% in the world, worldwide. Also, there is an ongoing transformation in the educational system, and we are consulting with Ministry of Education in Novosibirsk region, and the situation is the follows. So all the courses in universities compared to short courses are less valuable because at the moment everything is developing so fast and new professions appear so fast. So in the 5 years you study at a university, all the knowledge might be already out of date. And also this is a huge volume of data and users that we could then use in our work. And how is AI related to this? So for example, filling in a profile and psychological profile, the user could get some kind of recommendations from AI on the best fitted or suited profession. And second of all, it's about education and learning. So this AI could recommend this learning strategies and educational strategies for the one, taking into consideration his own aims and ambitions. And it's especially essential in a modern era when education becomes absolutely vital and ongoing education becomes absolutely vital. And even big universities, big famous worldwide universities are speaking and talking about the fact that it's very important to continuously study something new. And so what we've managed to do since we announced the project, first of all, Vera Popova joined us as a manager of the main director of this project, and Vera is one of the main managers. She was working in one of the first biggest online schools of English. We've also started consulting with Ministry of Education of Novosibirsk region, and we are quite happy with the positive feedback we've got from them. And we've already discussed the most wanted professions on at the labor market in Russia and worldwide. We've already started discussing the possible courses with possible speakers of the project, and soon we will publish a concept of the project with the main ideas and prospects for its development. I would also like to remind you that all the users who will register in the project before the 1st of June will have a free lifetime access to all the basic courses of the project. And each partner who invests in the project will gain, before the end of the month, will gain a lifetime free access to the standard level courses. I guess that's all about DigiU education for now, and let's move on to one more important topic about commercializing of the project and points of the growth and when it would be possible to get the first dividends. So DigiU is a project that consists of a technological company and venture fund. And here we're not trying to invent a new model of venture funding. And I would also like to point out that all the co-founders of the project, they are businessmen, and we're not just inventors who invent something, we are people who think about how this could be monetized. And I would tell you about the venture fund now, and what are the stages of development, and we will look at it from point of view of the market. So for example, let's take some IT startup. So the first investment round is called pre-seed. Usually at this stage, a project has an idea, some sort of technological solution, and so MVP, like minimum valuable product.
And team.
And a team.
Yes. And
И команда.
Начал говорить по-английски.
So basically at this stage, project requires investment for the project to survive. First of all, finish some sort of a version of a product and show it to the market and get some feedback from users and develop and improve the product, right?
Yes.
The next round of financing is seed investment, or angel funding. During this stage, the product market fit is found. And so what product market fit is the proved value of the product. At this stage, the understanding comes in on how valuable the product is and if there is enough users who wish to buy this product. At this stage, a lot of testing takes place, so basically the final product is shown to a number of users, the feedback is collected, then the product might be slightly changed or configured, and the new versions might appear, and this is done to find the final user of the product and to distinguish on the amount of people who might and who will be willing to buy this product. At this stage requires a lot more funding because it requires testing and a lot more work on the final product. And basically the aim of this round of financing is to start earning some minimum profits. The next financing round is Series A. So at this stage, when there is already a business model in place, the investment is required to bring the product to the market. And at this stage, the investments are used for marketing, promotion, maybe improving the product, or maybe translating it into different languages. Series B comes after this round. At this stage, when we already know that the product is needed by the market and when you can see that all the invested money will come back, a lot more investment required at this level, at this stage, because the product is basically developing and spreading to other countries. For example, if the product was developed in one country, at this stage it could grow and move and be developed and sold in other countries. When this round is successfully completed, the next round round C comes to play, Series C. So at this stage, when the product and the business model have already proved its success, so they are seen to be successful, at this stage new investment come in to maybe develop some additional products that could go with this product. So this way the company grows wider. At this stage, usually the product is prepared to IPO or to be sold to some big player at the market, big market player. And what's so specific for this model? At each stage, risks are minimized, and more investment is required at each stage of the development. But profitability from the first stages is a lot higher, but as well as the risks. And now just imagine, DigiU is not just one startup, it's tens or maybe even thousands of startups in the AI industry. And each project will go through these stages. Okay, it might be the stages might be slightly adjusted, or maybe some stages would go faster than the other stages. But generally, this is the main idea. And why is it a successful strategy? To understand if the product will be useful and required by the market, you don't need to go through all the stages straight away. And we will show our product to the market. And what is different? What makes IT and AI market different from, let's say, some market where some sort of equipment or factory must be built and some equipment must be produced? For example, let's say if we talk about some energy efficient products or some products in the oil market, what needs to be done? First of all, a lot of research must be done and completed. Then some kind of test or sample equipment or samples need to be created. Then you need to build a whole factory to start the mass production. And only then you will see how the market would react. In our case, it's absolutely different. As I said before, at every stage we get some feedback from the market. Second of all, as a venture fund, we don't put all the money into one product. We don't put all the effort into one product. We understand that only 1 or 2 projects out of 10 we might start developing might be successful. But because we're going to develop tens and hundreds of projects, we minimize risks and basically almost make it possible that there will be profits. And I would like to tell you that at the moment we are developing ahead our roadmap, and if you looked at the roadmap, you might have seen that first dividends will be in 2023. And the development of services and applications will start in 2022. But we are going ahead the roadmap, and very soon we are starting developing products that could become final products and could be brought to the market. I would like to point out that, DigiU voice service exists now at the stage it is. But this is not a final product. This demo version just shows the existence of such a technological solution, and this technological solution may then be developed into a number of different products, and it could be tens of different products, services or apps. And this is only in the framework of text-to-speech technology, because when we held a competition, our partners sent us tens and tens of different ideas. And just as an example, what could be the final product of this technology, text-to-speech technology? So, for example, audiobooks can be voiced by a voice of some popular person. And for example, just as you may know, mothers read fairy tales to their children in the evening, and with this service, this could be done automatically. And for example, if someone learns a foreign language, the one could listen to the correct pronunciation of a phrase. And basically it is possible that you might have a chance to see some sort of final product in the last quarter of this year, and it's like 2 years ahead of the roadmap. And now I only told you about one technology, which is text-to-speech, but we also have a computer vision technology. and there are tens of different uses of this technology. And this way we develop our portfolio. We already have 2 technologies, and we are soon starting our work on speech-to-text technology, which is the other way around. It will be able to create a text from your speech. And we are also working on classical machine learning, working with stable data and predictive analytics. And we've purchased our computing powers recently, and it might look as an ordinary computer. And also as example, for example, a technology that we recently introduced to you, on a simple, ordinary, usual computer, it would take a year for this task to be solved, and our equipment managed to do it in 2 weeks. And we will surely continue to increase our computing powers so we can solve the tasks a lot faster and teach our neural networks a lot faster. It's also one very important point that only a few teams that work with AI have their own computing powers available to them. And what we can offer to startups in the AI field is our computing powers, not only our computing powers, but also our data, our expertise, because very highly qualified specialists work in our team. And financing. And the most interesting things might come when you push these technologies together. For example, we have text-to-speech technology, which allows to transform text into speech. We will start soon working on a speech-to-text technology that will allow to make a text from speech. And also there are a number of solutions available in the field of translation. And so basically combining these technology might lead to one great outstanding product which we are interested in because we really want to use it ourselves. So for example, how it might look. For example, myself or Alexey Ognev will hold a webinar in Russian. And how it would work. So basically speech-to-text technology will transform speech into text. Then this could be translated into pretty much any language. And then text-to-speech technology, with the use of text-to-speech technology, the webinar will be voiced in a different language. So for example, if we create this technology, a webinar, basically a webinar could be broadcasted in with maybe 5 or 10 minutes delay, can be broadcasted in other languages. Okay, this is definitely a more complicated or more challenging task than creating some product with just text-to-speech technology, but we've already conducted some research in this field. And let's imagine that we have this product, that we've created this product. And let's have a look at the stages the product will go through. So why do we believe that this product will be required by the market? Well, first of all, we need it ourselves. Second of all, we've already received some feedback from bloggers or people who conduct webinars or on YouTube channels, that we know that these people do need this product. So on the first stage, the very minimal working version of the product is created. Well, it's not ideal, it's not perfect, but at least it can work. And at this stage, we will, for example, share this product with our colleagues and maybe bloggers or people who might be interested in this product for free. And at this stage, during the webinar, our translator will not sit here with us, but will sit and check the correctness of the translation. So if we talk about time-wise, it's a lot more efficient because it's not like 90% of time used for translation, but it's like 10%. And such type of translation could then be sold And then if we see that people do need this product, then we continue working on improving the service. For example, the correctness of the translation, the combination of technology and how it works all together. At this stage, basically enlargement of the team required, maybe purchasing of some existing technologies and promotion at the market. And this was so-called stage A, when you see that the product is profitable. The next stage B is coming after this one, and at this stage, basically, the product needs to be more developed, maybe translated, maybe translations to new languages added, yeah? So maybe it would be possible to translate not only from Russian into English, but English into Russian, into French, Vietnamese, and different combinations of these languages. And this solution can then be prepared to go to IPO market, or maybe to be sold to, let's say, YouTube. And we really see how this type of product could be used and very useful for us, because let's say we create some course which then can be translated into different languages. And we don't have this product yet. We are just starting work on this product. We are doing research. We're just putting all the puzzles together. We already have text-to-speech technology. And we're going to develop the speech-to-text. And I've told you all this story to show how these different technological solutions can be combined in order to create new products, and how these products could be then brought to the market. So maybe many of you saw the time, or if you haven't, then I'd recommend you to do some research on the time when a lot of .coms were created. A huge amount of projects were developing at the stage, and some of them now became Google, Yandex, and AliExpress, and so on. Quite a big amount of projects, well, not so famous, not so popular, but they're still very profitable. Was it possible to say which one would be the most successful or be successful at the very start of the project? No, it was not, because it all depends on the user's behavior and in seeing what people like or what they don't like. And the way to get there is basically to show the product to the market, get some feedback, and react to the feedback very fast. And diversity is one of the key idea at this stage, at this point, because it's better to not to concentrate on one product or one project. You can work with 10 on 10 projects simultaneously. And this is exactly why we think that we will be successful, and because this is the approach we take. And I would also like to point out the following thing, that dividends is only one way to make profits for partners. Very big money is made on this market from the growth of capitalization. At each stage of growth of the company, the value, the price of the company grows. And for example, those who purchase their shares at the pre-sale stage, they could then resell their shares to strategically interested investors in future at stage A, and this will be a lot more. This will cost a lot more. Or for example, the company can generate profits, and then partners will get their dividends. And hereby, this is how the graph of receiving dividends by our partners might look. So for example, we work on product 1, product 2, product 3, and we don't concentrate on one product, because we don't expect, and we couldn't expect, the very first product to be successful in the market straight away and bring us the huge money. Some products might be wanted and useful to people, but might not bring any money. And this is also good and useful for us, because this way we will be able to get users' data, and that would help to create other products. And for example, the product might not be profitable at the stage like now, but then sometime it might be combined with some other product or technology, and then it would become profitable. And for example, fourth or fifth products became good and sold on the market, and it starts bringing the first money. And for example, the more resources we have, the bigger the team. At the moment, like it's maybe every 2 months we can start developing new product. But while we grow, maybe we will be able to do it more and more often. And let's say every 10th product becomes successful. And this way, if we're talking long term, our partner would be able to start receiving dividends from the first product, then from the 10th, then again from the next successful products, and therefore the amount of dividends. And at the same time, the capitalization of the project, of the company will grow. And this is why I highly recommend you to subscribe to our channels, to follow our news, to read on AI, to find out more about the industry and the venture funding, because this is what is happening at the moment. And now is the best time to become an investor, to purchase your first share package, because we are at the pre-seed stage at the moment. And when the first products will appear and when they will face the market, we will move on to the seed stage. And I believe that this will happen this year at a price of a share of 4 cents, and at the moment it's 3.2. And please do have a look at our roadmap, because we've planned the development of some products in 2022, but we are starting this very soon, and we already have a very strong team of experts formed. And I would like to point out how we develop step by step, gradually. For example, the concept was translated into nine languages, and the user accounts were translated into 8 languages. As an example of how we develop, please take a look at our user accounts. And I'm basically addressing the partners who are with us from the very start of the project. Every month we release 6-7 updates of the user account. We add a new interface, new functions are added on monthly basis, and some unique functions, as long as we know from what we've studied. And we get feedback that our user accounts work really fast, have pleasant interface, and are very clear and easy to use. And this was basically the way how we developed our users account. We constantly were getting feedback from the users. For example, this button is not very convenient, not comfortable to use this or that service. This is great, add a link here, and so on. And this was the way how we were developing and improving our user accounts. And this is exactly the example of approach that we will use in developing our products and bringing them to the market. And also, if you look further, let's look at our DMP platform, which is one of our main solutions, and we continue working on it. So we've created the first prototype, which is able to receive data from Google, and then also, what else?
В июне пользовательские данные из Google.
And I guess in June we will be ready to take users' data from Google. So this is the way we're developing. So at this stage, we're developing very fast. We can do faster. For this, we need a bigger team. We need more investment. So please do follow us, subscribe to our channels. There will be soon a series of short videos about the project available. And also there is a myth that DigiU is a startup. No, DigiU is an ecosystem that attracts specialists, highly qualified specialists, scientists who can use our computing powers to test their theories. What else did you say?
150 стран.
Users from different countries. There are over 150 countries in the project. And this is basically an opportunity to invest in AI So basically it's an opportunity for anyone in the world to invest into AI. Try to invest let's say $500 into one startup that you're interested in. It's impossible to do it in any other place. For example, you can buy shares of Google at a share market, at a stock market, but they won't grow significantly. DigiU is an opportunity. For example, imagine you've invested into all the companies, all the internet-related companies some years ago. This is pretty much the same what's happening in the aid market with DigiU at the moment.
Все, я уложился в час. В принципе, у меня все.
So I've managed to make it in an hour. I guess that's all I wanted to say.